The town of Princeton and the Princeton and District Museum and Archives Society have had a long relationship. On March 2nd, 2020, the Society and the town of Princeton, after months of negotiation, signed a 5-year MOU. President Kim Maynard approached the town after being elected to the position. The plan was to resurrect an older idea of the town hiring a full-time manager for the Princeton Museum. The town of Princeton saw the possibilities of what a full-time manager could mean for the museum, and the process was put into motion. Over the years, the board of directors had struggled with both managing the manager while trying to maintain the displays and curate the vast collection in the archives. Both Mayor Coyne and Councillor Elliott have been active in the museum over the years and understood that having a full-time funded manager would be an asset to the facility. It would also mean that the board of directors could focus on the collections and once again become a working board. Since the revamp of the museum facility, the museum has become the jewel of the community tourism attraction. The town of Princeton, working under the understanding of the newly signed MOU and verbal agreements with the society president, set out to market and put the museum on the map. It cannot be overstated that the town of Princeton saw the benefits that a full-time manager would bring to the museum and what it would mean for tourism and education in Princeton. The town of Princeton, as the primary funder of the Princeton Museum, invests approximately $100,000 a year into the facility and operations. From everything from building maintenance to the power and heating to the manager position and the employee benefits that come with that position. The town sees and understands the value of the Princeton District Museum and Archives. The museum is a cornerstone of the local tourism industry. The town continues to advertise the museum through its ongoing marketing plan. The potential for the museum and archives is vast, from a cultural center to for the community with speaker series to special events. The museum facility has the potential not only to be a key part of the local tourism economy, but the center of a local cultural life. With the financial support from the town, the ability for volunteers to turn the archives into a vital repository of information for researchers is a real possibility. The town envisions the partnership through the MOU as a vehicle for the museum to succeed down whatever road they choose. The MOU between the society and the town was partially to allow the board to once again become a working board. The executive during the MOU negotiations was supportive of this idea, as it would allow the volunteers to focus on the collections and displays and stop having to manage staff. It was so important at the time that it was the second point under the rules of the society. It was always the town's understanding that the board wanted to ensure that there was funding in place to keep the lights on and the doors open. The MOU was that tool to ensure that there was a full-time staff member who would keep the doors open and deal with the day-to-day while the volunteers did what they originally came to the society to do: create displays and work in the collections. Marketing. The town of Princeton invests heavily in marketing the community. Not only have we spent funds to attract people off the highway through beautification, but we are a part of numerous initiatives to bring tourists into the region. The town of Princeton promotes the museum in its marketing materials, understanding the value that the facility brings to the table. The town promotes the museum both locally as well as externally through partnerships like the Smokemean Valley Planning Society. The Princeton Visitor Center is key to directing locals and tourists to the museum on an ongoing basis. The coordination between the Visitor Center and the museum cannot be understated. The fourth point under the town's responsibilities in the MOU is to cross-train Visitor Center and museum staff. This ensures that no matter what, the museum will be staffed. There has been some concern over the museum being marketed by the town. The town has been creating a cohesive branding and message. This message is being spread internationally. This does not mean the society has no place in the marketing of the facility. In fact, the society has the ability to build on its own brand. The facility itself is just that, the facility. The society represents the volunteers who are the heart and soul of the collections and displays. By growing that brand and marketing the society creates the ability to attract new members. When the logo of the town and the logo of the society are side by side, it shows that the facility is supported and that it is strong because of those partnerships, and that allows for continuity and stability. The town of Princeton partners and cross-markets the community through a number of avenues. Most notably is the relationship with the Similkameen Valley Planning Society, or the SVPS. The SVPS primary function is tourism marketing. It is a partnership between the town of Princeton, Area H, G, and B of the regional district, as well as the Village of Carameus and the Lower Similkameen Indian Band. Through this partnership, we market through the Route 97 group, which advertises across North America. Princeton, through our SVPS partnership, is on the day trip off the main route, bringing American tourists into the area. The Crow's Nest Tourism Alliance is a joint program between the SVPS, Destination Asuas, the Similkameen Independent Wine Growers, as well as the Boundary Country Tourism. The town of Princeton, SVPS, and our other partners all work with Destination BC, who is tasked with marketing BC and tourism destinations around the world. The Princeton Museum is a key attraction for the Upper Similkameen, and a focus for the town of Princeton's efforts when marketing to domestic and international markets. Two and a quarter million cars pass through Princeton per year. The town of Princeton has a short-term goal of attracting 1% of that total highway traffic into the town, or 22,500 cars. Armed with the traffic numbers and what the average ridership per car equates to, and the total expenditure per person per day, the town's goal of 1% of traffic flow would equate to an additional $6.84 million per year into the local economy. When we look at what that could mean for the museum, and if we were only target a quarter of that 22,500 at the average of $4 per person donation at the door, the museum could easily be looking at an additional 22,500 per year in revenue. With the ongoing partnership with the town of Princeton, the marketing efforts of the town's tourism plan, and cross-promotion with the museum, the goal of 5,625 people walking through the museum doors is a real possibility. The visitor center in 2020, a COVID year, saw just over 12,500 visitors. Even with a redirect of half of those visitors, could be a major boom for the museum and the society. If we are to dream big and consider what the extra revenue could mean for the work of the society, it becomes very exciting. From the archives to the displays to educational programming to special events, the possibility with increased revenues would mean that the days of depending on grants or sponsorships to ensure a project is completed comes to an end. Of course, you would never stop looking for grants or sponsorship, but the ability to become more autonomous is a real possibility. Increased funding to displays, educational programming, and the ability to put on special events and bring in speakers creates a buzz about the museum. It makes the museum exciting and brings in repeat customers. Repeat customers means more revenue, which means the more ability to do even more. Earlier, I spoke of the museum being the cultural center for the community. With increased revenue streams, the society has the ability to bring in speakers who attract crowds. These events become a social affair with wine and cheese or tea and treats. The point is, people will want to come. If people see the value of these events, they will be more willing to become a member or make a donation to the society, making the society even more sustainable and creating the ability to do even more. It is through the partnership we are forging that these scenarios can become a reality. The town of Princeton, through our agreement, has alleviated the worry of financial stability. The town is keeping the doors open and making sure the light's on. The town is working hard to let the world know that the Princeton Museum is here and worth checking out. It is through this partnership that society leadership can take full advantage of this agreement. The future of the community, the future of the society, are our youth. The museum in many ways are our youth's only connection to our ancestors and our past. Through the partnership between the town and the society, we have the ability to engage our local school system. With support from the town and the Upper Similkameen Indian Band, we have the ability to create a locally customized, age-appropriate syllabus so when school kids come, we can teach them the whole story of the place we call home. When we can tell our youth the stories of our ancestors, and then we can point to them where those stories took place, it creates a connection that will not be lost. Those kids will become excited about their history, and we can turn them into lifelong supporters of the museum, and some of them will become the future society members and storytellers who will pass on the stories of where they came from. There is a real opportunity for the society. With less overhead, the society can focus on creating a world-class product that the Princeton Museum is known for. With the town's marketing reach, we can open up new markets for the museum, bringing in new revenues and putting the Princeton Museum at the forefront of Princeton's marketing plan. It's a good bang for your buck. When it comes to value for the society, it's a win-win situation. The facility costs are covered, the manager's wages are covered, and the major overhead is not there. This allows for the society to focus, as the MOU originally stated, on being a working board and creating displays and curating the collection. We are stronger together. When we look at the future of the museum, the facility, and consider the financial commitment the municipality has made, it shows that the town of Princeton is committed to the success of the Princeton Museum. The town wants to ensure that the doors are able to open and the public can experience our community's rich history. The town is here to support the society. We want the society to be able to focus on doing what they do best, create world-class displays, and bring to life the wealth of information in the archives. The town's primary goal, other than market the museum as a tourism attraction, is to ensure the long-term sustainability of the museum, the collection, and the story that is our shared history. We are blessed to have what a small group of volunteers started so many years ago. With a $100 donation from the town and a piece of land, the Princeton and District Museum and Archives Society over the years went from a dream to being what is easily one of the best museums in British Columbia. It has been through cooperation and partnership that that dream has come to fruition, and it should be through cooperation and partnership that we enter the future. The town, through financial means, is providing a mechanism for the society to build on those years of dreams and hard work. In return, we ask that you continue to showcase our story to anyone willing to listen. I want to thank you for your time and look forward to a long, prosperous partnership. Thank you.